Ahoy, hello! Today's recipe is an easy way to make chamorro empanada using what you might already have in your fridge and freezer. My niece Jessica at the chamorrocookingchannel.com had questions about how to make empanada. She made me so malago, and then I realized I had everything I needed to make empanada with leftovers. This is short grain rice that's a few days old. I'll measure everything for you today, but for last minute cooking, I kind of just go with the flow and adjust along the way. A link to the printable recipe is in the description. This makes 3.5 cups or 700 grams. This was frozen chicken. Keep it chunky because it will shred when you stir. It's 2 cups or 300 grams. Into a cold pot, put 2 tablespoons or 30 milliliters of bacon drippings. I didn't want to thaw a whole package of bacon, so I'm using Reverend's Farm bacon fat from my freezer. Add a 1/2 cup or 80 grams diced onions. Saute until it's nicely browned. Add 4 cloves of minced garlic and saute for a minute. Add the rice and break the large chunks apart. I also freeze lots of leftover rice. It's good for alaguan and champolado. Add a total of 8 cups or 1.9 liters of chicken stock. This was frozen as well, and it's actually turkey stock. Give it a stir and bring to a gentle boil. Continue to cook the rice until the kernels are falling apart and the soup is very thick. Can you see? Taste the rice. It should feel very soft in your mouth. This is 2 tablespoons of melted bacon fat with 1 packet or 10 grams of achote powder. That's a tablespoon of powder for every Mamacita's packet. Stir to incorporate. Add the cooked chicken and combine. This just needs to heat through, so don't stir too much unless you want finer shreds of chicken. If it's too thick for you, add a cup of water or 1.4 mils and stir well. I'm going to add more achote. Remember, this chalakiles needs to get cold and thick before making empanada. Once you fill the crust, you're going to have to freeze it. Try it and add more salt. I'm using a total of 1.5 tablespoons or 15 grams garlic powder, 1.5 teaspoons or 3.5 grams of black pepper. Give it a good stir and another taste. Set this aside so that it gets cold and thick. I've got 2 cups of red corn masa that just came in a few days ago. It's not the type of masa we normally use for chamorro empanada, but it'll work. This is my attempt to replace Goya and to replace seasoning salt. The exact measurements are in the description. There's too many to list. 1 packet of achote, mix it well. Add enough water in small batches to form a moist but not too sticky dough. I didn't plan on making empanada, but this will do. I usually make a ton to have on hand, and for that I always follow my traditional recipe that's linked in the description. Today's a good day to experiment a little bit though, so. This feels good. Use a 1/4 cup measuring cup if you want to be exact with the dough. Remember, after filling the crust, you'll have to freeze the empanada overnight before frying. This is masa dough I ground by hand a few months ago. I treated the corn with lime and ground it first in the molino, then in the metate. A link to that video is also in the description. Break the masa apart. It's a little loose, but water will fix that. Add achote powder, goya, and a teaspoon of seasoning salt. Mix. Then slowly add a little bit of water to form a moist but not too sticky dough. Oh, I made it too fancy or wet. So I'll fill the other masa and give this one a chance to dry out a little bit uncovered. Place the wax paper on the press. Oh, I could tell this dough is on the dry side, but that's fine. Add another wax paper. Press. And then turn if it's still thick. And press again. Peel carefully. Add about 1.5 adult-sized spoons of filling to the center, lengthwise. And fold up to join the edges. Press to seal. It's great to have a stash of empanada in the freezer. Seal it well to prevent leakage while it fries. Go one more time with this dough. Let's try this frozen masa again. Still a little wet, but that's fine. We'll just have to handle it with some extra TLC. Yeah, still wet. Press very lightly because when it's wet, the dough will squeeze out with little effort. I sure love me some Chamorro Empanada. I'll tear a little, but that's okay. Just carry on. Even when folding this, you have to be a little quicker and use light fingers, or a light touch rather. It's okay if it's square at one end. You can just reshape it in the wax paper as you press and seal. Fill a cold pot halfway with oil. This is coconut oil. If it sizzles around a wooden spoon, the oil is ready, or about 340 to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. This is the red corn masa dough. Another red corn masa. And this is the masa from my freezer. It seems the less processed masa hold up better after only 5 minutes of frying, as opposed to the masa off the grocery store shelves. After 5 minutes, you can flip to the other side and cook another 5 to 7 minutes until crispy. I love this Guam empanada with homemade masa dough. It is a little chewy, but I think I kneaded the dough too much when I first made it. You can see the chunks of rice. So good. And I love this red masa empanada. The heirloom red corn was grown in Mexico and makes a huge difference in the flavor and texture of the crust. In case you have leftover filling, you can top it with stuff and use as a dip. I hope I've satisfied your Guam recipe cravings. Thanks for spending time with me, and remember to check out my other Chamorro videos. Adios!